Why do some contractors sell the brand that they sell? In this video, I want to go through some of the reasons why some contractors select the brands that they sell, and maybe knowing some of the things we're going to talk about as a consumer might help you in the decision making of who you choose and ultimately what brand they sell. What's interesting is some might sell multiple brands, and a lot of you that have seen any of my videos know how I feel about that. I personally think that you should go with a company that believes in a brand. They are drinking the Kool-Aid for that brand, and they'll tell you all the reasons why and why they think that it's a good choice for you. Now, what that brand is, I don't think matters quite as much as selecting a good contractor and selecting a contractor that believes in a particular brand or product. So again, in this video, I'm going to go through some of the reasons why some contractors select certain brands. One of the things that I've done over the years is I'll ask other guys why they sell what they sell, even if it's not what I sell or if it is what I sell. I like to hear reasons why they like what they like. But as we go through our list here in a moment, one thing I found is some contractors don't have good reasons. I remember interviewing a guy for a job one time. He was going to come work for us, and he told me, yeah, I think that this brand X is the best brand out there. I've installed hundreds of them, and I just think they're the best. And I said, well, why do you think they're the best? And he said, well, I've installed more of them than anything else. I just think they're a good product. And I said, well, have you ever installed any other brand? And well, no. The company I currently work for that I'm wanting to leave, I've only ever installed that brand. So I've never installed anything else. And so for me, that was not a good enough reason, right? So let's dive into this list I made up. It's 8 reasons why contractors sell what they sell. The first one being, a lot of contractors will select the brand that they're going to sell, that they're going to offer based on the supplier or the wholesaler, the distributor that they're buying their products from or their equipment from, their parts from, etc. And I've had some of the guys say to me, they'll say, look, I like my supplier. I like them so much that if they were to switch brands, it's not the brand necessarily. It's not that I 100% believe in that brand. I like my supplier. I have good relationships there, and they pick up the phone and they take care of me and they fill in blank. They're just great to work with. And if they switched brands tomorrow, I would switch brands too. Now, do I personally think that's a great reason to sell a particular brand? I don't know that it's a great reason, but I will say that if somebody feels that strongly about their supplier, I do think that's a good reason. Do I think it's a great reason? No, but do I think it's a good reason? Yeah, if you have that kind of a relationship that you would follow that supplier to go sell a different brand because they have treated you so well and they take care of you and they make sure they have parts available. And if you're in a jam, they'll send somebody to you with that part and all those different things. They make your life and business, all of that easier so that the contractor, can do a better job for the customer. Well, the customer might say, it's not a bad reason, I'm not in love with that reason, I'm about to spend thousands of dollars on this particular brand or product, but the wholesaler, distributor, or supplier, whatever you want to call them, if they're that great, maybe that's a good thing, right? I can tell you, as someone that owned a business and dealt with multiple suppliers, some are better than others. Some of them are pretty bad. It does make a difference. Moving on the next reason, number 2 would be, what do they offer that the next brand does not? So picking a brand, let's say they have certain things patented or certain things that they really offer better than other companies. Maybe they offer the best warranty in the industry. Maybe they offer a particular technology that no one else is offering, or maybe they offer it, but maybe not quite as well. I can tell you, later in this video, I'm going to share the brand that we chose at my company and why, and some of that fell into that. Some of the things that they offered that no one else offered, or maybe they offered it, but not as well, that played a big role in it. I think if you find a contractor that you really like and you say to them, why do you sell what you sell? And they can't rattle off just a little elevator pitch on why they sell and what that company offers that no one else seems to offer quite as well, that might be a red flag. A lot of the guys that I talk to, even if it's not the brand I love, they can usually tell you why they love what they love. And that plays right into my third one, reasons why they sell the brand that they sell. And that is, they usually sell the brand that they believe in. Maybe they believe in them because they think they're the best and they want to sell the best. Or maybe they believe in them because they think they're the most reliable and they want that, right? Maybe they sell the cheapest, right? They sell equipment that is still good. The contractor likes it good enough, but it's the least expensive that they can seem to find. In some cases, there's a significant difference there, but they believe in that product for one reason or another. In fact, I had a guy tell me years ago that he sold the product that he sold, not just because it was, say, the cheapest, but because it was the cheapest and he could still sell it at the same price as the premium brands out there. And so the margins were really good on that. But whatever the case is, they believe in that product. And again, I'll just say it again, if you are talking to your contractor, you found somebody that you like, asking them why they sell what they sell, you may get one of those reasons. You may get someone to say, man, I just really believe in the products. I really believe in the company, and here's why. They've really treated me good in this way. All good things, in my opinion. Number 4 would be perks that maybe that company offers. And this is something that a lot of contractors don't talk about. It's not something that we really talk about publicly a lot. And you know me, I'm the guy that talks about everything publicly, but some companies offer perks that other companies don't. Some brands offer perks with their dealer programs, for example. Some of those perks are quite great, right? I mean, some of them are like free trips, and some of them are like money for co-op and advertising and helping you grow your business, money for training and money for other things. And they'll say, you know, look, if you sell this much of our products, then we're going to give you this much perks or this much dollars towards that, however the dealer program worked. I remember that played a role in who we decided on, because we were selling a brand that they had some decent perks, but then you would have to pay them like thousands of dollars. Literally, I would have to pay them thousands of dollars just to be a part of their dealer program. At the end of the day, it was like, man, I don't even know if this is worth it at times. They had a tiered, multi-tier system, and I even paid to have a higher tier at one point to just see how much better it was. And to be honest with you, it felt like at times they were sucking the life out of us over here, just trudging away and trying to build this business up. And then the company that you would think they want to see you succeed while you sell their products, they were almost kind of sucking any ability we had to grow just to sell their products. Now, do I think it's a bad thing for a brand or a manufacturer to say, look, there's a barrier to entry to sell our stuff? No, I don't think that's bad at all. I'm just saying, as a small business, when every penny counted and you're trying to grow, I remember it was a big deal whether or not I would buy another van at one point, just because you're just looking at the numbers and you're just not quite sure, am I about to make a huge decision? And then on top of that, the brand that you're selling is supposed to be trying to help you grow, or at least want to see you grow. Maybe it's not their job to help you grow, but they're at least should be in your corner and wanting to at least see you grow so you could sell more of their products. And it didn't feel like that at all. So there are perks to selling some of these brands at times, right? Number 5 would be training and support. And this is a big one. This is a big one for the consumer, the homeowner that's about to spend all this money. They want to know that the company that they're selecting is trained and certified and knows the products in and out for what they're about to install. They want to know if there's a problem and they are having a little bit of an issue with it, that there's a head scratcher, that they could pick up the phone and have somebody to call. And I can tell you that some brands are more accessible than others. Some of them will even lock down their manuals, and you have to have a special login to get into their dealer website and all this stuff. That played a huge role. When we eventually switched to the brand that I'm going to go over in a moment, that was huge to me. It was kind of crazy how much more transparent that they were compared to some of the other brands that we had worked with. Number 6 is parts availability. Are they making it a priority to try to have certain things available? When there is something wrong and it's under warranty, how long is this customer going to have to wait to get that part in? I remember we had a brand that we had installed a few of. We gave them a try a few years ago, and we ended up having to wait like 2 to 3 months for a part, for a motor, believe it or not. It was not a good look for that company, but to be honest with you, it wasn't a good look for me either, because I had gone to this homeowner and said, hey, I know you're in the market for a new heating and air system. Here's some options, and I think these are all good options. We always gave multiple options, good, better, best. That option that you're about to select, I think it's a good option, and now they've spent the money on it only to find out years later when a motor had failed that it would be a significant amount of time to get them a motor put in. And I'll go one step further with that company in saying that I've talked to guys that do like that brand, and I've asked them why, why do you like that brand? And they'll say, well, I think the equipment's, it's heavy. It's heavy. That's their reasoning. It's heavy. And I'll say, it's heavy. That's why you like it? Yeah, I mean, if it's heavy, it means it's good, right? It's something substantial there. And I always thought that was odd. Heavy steel weighs more than, say, better metals like aluminum. Depending on what you're doing, aluminum could be better, or even say like a metal that is better, like titanium, right? So you're going to tell me that that really heavy unit is better, right? So I don't know. I just always thought that was odd about that particular brand. Number 7, warranty coverage. And this is something more than just what's the warranty length. I'm talking about on a deeper level. When contractors, like if I go to them and say, hey, this part is bad, I need to get a new one, how helpful are they? Do they look for reasons to not cover that warranty? Some companies do, and it's not a good feeling. They'll say, well, when was the last time they maintained their equipment? And I think that's an okay question, especially if it's never been maintained. But when you're asking those sorts of questions just to not take care of the customer and not honor the warranty that's in place, we had a company tell us one time that they were not going to honor the warranty because the supplier sold us the equipment and the units were not an AHRI match. We've talked about this in other videos. Do I think that it's important for equipment to be a match, matching brands and matching capacity, and then one step further being an actual AHRI match that someone, an engineer, has actually tested that equipment that make sure that it's going to perform a certain way? I think all that stuff's great, right? But it was odd to me that, number one, it was not my fault that the supplier gave me the wrong equipment originally. One step further than that, just to say that the manufacturer, it just felt like the vibe was that they were looking for reasons not to honor that warranty. So I think that plays a role in it. Did that give me the warm fuzzies and make me want to sell that brand moving forward? Sure didn't. In fact, I never sold that brand again and will never sell that brand again. And the last thing I'll say about warranty, if you're watching this, is if you want to see what the warranty is on your current equipment, a lot of companies have a barrier there. They'll say, hey, we don't want the homeowner to be able to check their warranty. In some cases, they don't even want the contractor to be able to automatically check that warranty. They want you to call them and find out what that coverage is. When most companies, a lot of good companies, are going to be transparent about it. They're going to have it on their website. All you need is your serial number, possibly your last name of whoever it was registered to, and then they're going to give you that warranty coverage pretty openly. And that's something that we offer on our website. If you go to newhvacguide.com, you scroll all the way to the bottom, click check my warranty, and then you'll be able to go to the page that has all the brands and you'll be able to check your warranty there. But let me wrap up with this. The number 8 reason why companies choose the brand that they choose, and my number 8 one is why we chose the brand that we ultimately hung our hat on, that we decided this is the brand that we're going to sell. We're not going to sell anything else. And that's how strongly we ultimately ended up being on this particular brand. And that brand is Daikin. If you've seen any of my videos before, you know that. You also know that Daikin has sponsored some of our videos before, but this was before all of that. This was back when I was just trying to decide, hey, is this a good fit for my company or not? And I had multiple brands to choose from, and we narrowed it down to Daikin. One of those reasons being the technology and the patents that they currently have and offer. And I'm not going to get into all of them in this video, but you can Google some of these. One would be Daikin's swing compressors that no one else offers. It's much more reliable than a lot of the other options out there as far as compressors. It has less components, less things that can fail on it. Again, I'm not going to get into all the nitty gritty of why, but that's something you can Google, you can look it up. The variable refrigerant technology that a lot of other companies are starting to offer, Daikin invented that equipment. They invented the VRV technology that we now know today, and they just continue to come out with products that are above the rest. They continue to come out with products like the Daikin Fit or the air purifier machine, the array of ductless mini splits. And I get guys all the time, they'll say, well, they don't offer this. They'll come out with just one little thing that maybe Daikin doesn't have, or maybe they don't have it yet. And a lot of those products, I'll say to them, I'm like, well, you know, have you sold any of those that you're talking about that Daikin doesn't offer? I literally had a guy that said that to me. He's like, well, they don't offer this. And I'll say, have you ever sold one of those? And he's like, well, no. I'm like, well, have you ever bought one? He's like, well, no, I've never bought one either, but Daikin doesn't have it, you know? And it's just funny to me. When we were deciding what to sell at our company, seeing the things that they offered that no one else offered, or if they did offer it, they just wasn't quite up to snuff, if that makes sense. They had the best warranties, and I think the ultimate main reason, because if you can go back and watch my old videos. In fact, you can find one of the first videos I ever did on Daikin, and I was kind of giving them a try, and I almost kind of said they were middle ground company, and I was still learning. I didn't understand. I didn't know all the array of things they offered, but the one thing I did know was we were installing them and we were not hearing back from the customer in a good way. Now, is this a big pitch for Daikin? Maybe a little bit. I actually do drink the Kool-Aid and love them that much. I've installed multiple other brands and had so many headaches that it was nice to find someone I actually believed in. But that alone, it just changed my belief level. Can I sit here and say that we've never had a single little issue or problem? No, I can't say that. To know that we were installing those systems and then I wouldn't hear back from the customer in a good way over and over. That alone, never mind all the other things we've talked about, the warranties and the cutting edge technology and all of that, just installing the equipment and not hearing back from the customer and becoming strangers again was huge to me, because that wasn't the case with some of the other brands. So let me say this. If you are in the market for a heating and air system, or maybe you're a contractor that's caught this video, why do you sell what you sell? Or why does your contractor, if you're a homeowner, why does your contractor sell what they sell? I'd love to hear about that in the chat below. There's no wrong answers here. I get guys that want to fight me on it. They'll say, well, I think so-and-so's better. Okay, well, you're allowed. You're allowed. And not only are you allowed, I love hearing about it. I love hearing your reasons, maybe even hearing your reasons why you don't like a particular brand. Love to hear that down in the comment section below. If you like this video, I think you'll like this one even more. It's where I talk about some of the secrets behind heat pumps. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.